One of our members is in Seoul, Korea, and he's asked me to ask you this question.
Okay.
What are the statistics of gay domestic abuse? He says, we always hear about the man and woman abuse, but there are several people I know who have been abused and reported, but I never see anything published. Not in Echo or any of the other, discussed in any of the other lifestyle magazines.
Good question. I get asked that question. A few years back, I want to say, it's been maybe 10 years that we were included under the domestic violence umbrella. Basically, it used to be you had to be legally married, have a child in common, whatnot. Now it's if you live together, if you reside together, whether it's a roommate situation or a lover situation. But we don't ask. You have everybody in the gay community. We've wanted the cops out of our bedroom forever, right? We don't. It's none of your business, right? So if I go to your house and I've gotten called there for domestic violence, and I say, first thing I say is, well, what are you guys, lovers or just roommates? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter to us. It's domestic violence. If you live together, it's domestic violence. So I can't, there's no checkbox for lover or roommate on the forms that the officers fill out for domestic violence. So unfortunately, I can't give numbers on gay domestic violence. Everybody wants to see them, but I would have to go through and read about 1 million police reports to see if they're heterosexual roommates, and maybe they don't even say, and we don't ask. We don't ask. And so it's a double-edged sword, because without bringing the numbers to light, it's hard for us to get grant money for safe houses, for GLB and T, for domestic violence victims. And unless we show those numbers and show the government, hey, we need this grant money because we need a house, we need somewhere to house these victims of domestic violence that either are transgender, gay, whatever, Q, whatever, that maybe don't feel comfortable going to a regular house for women or a house. I think there's one house for men of domestic abuse. So unless I can show the numbers, I can't ask until we change that. But do we? And there's some people that want to change it and say, well, it should be a relationship. But let's say this: you guys are roommates. I come to your house because the neighbors are saying, oh, they're fighting like crazy over there. And let's say you guys are lovers and you know the law, and you say, oh no, we're just roommates. We're just having a rough time. But I still should be doing something about it, because if I leave and leave you two alone, what's to say somebody doesn't crack somebody over the head with something and we come back later and there's a dead body?
Mm-hmm.
That's what we don't want. Because unfortunately, remember the girl, was it in Tucson, wasn't it? The girl that stabbed her roommate to death, the student, the U of A student.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, when you live with somebody, those types of things can happen. There's living with someone is really, combining your lives together, whether you're, straight, roommate, gay, whatever. It's again that double-edged sword of, do you want us to ask? I don't want us to ask. Because some people might not carry their diversity card that day and say, so what do you guys, faggots, lovers, what, God forbid, but there's 3,300 officers, and I can't guarantee you that all 3,300 of them are going to politely, professionally ask, what is the relationship between you? Which they shouldn't be. All they need to know is, do you live together? You've got a visible injury. What happened to him? He says, you punched me. Okay. You've got a bloody knuckle. Okay. Well, you're probably going to go to jail. Because it will escalate. It always does. Before this law started, because we prosecute. The county prosecutes on domestic violence. You don't have to want to prosecute each other if something happened. We pick up that tab for you. Because years ago, we would leave and it got worse. Remember those old stories of, the cops were here 5 times, and on, the 6th time she was dead, because we couldn't, that she would always say, but I love him, and
Mhm.
don't take him to jail, and, so all that stuff stopped. So we prosecute in domestic violence.
Thank you, Eric.